Hey, what's up, folks? We're back here Tuesday evening, and it's raining outside, which means it's cooler outside, and it's nice in here. It's only 83 degrees in the storage unit, so it's actually not too bad in here today. But I'm just going to touch on something real quick, because you guys know that I'm a numbers guy, and I like to be completely transparent with you. And because there are people that are probably watching this channel that are getting or want to get into reselling, and I still stand by that it's a great side hustle and it's a great way to make extra money. It's super fun. It does take up a lot of your time, but if you want to get into it, this is something I want to share with you, and the breakdown and everything. And like I mentioned, I am a numbers guy, so I like figuring this kind of stuff out and seeing what it means and all that kind of stuff. So I'll put the graphic up here. eBay sent me this email, basically said how I've been doing the past 3 months. And they kind of gave me some numbers. So they basically said in the past 3 months that I've listed 555 items, or I've listed 555 times is basically what they said. And out of those 555 in the last 3 months, I've had 197 sales. So that's just eBay, keep in mind. I do sell on 4 different platforms: eBay, Poshmark, Depop, and Mercari. I feel like I have a cobweb in my face or something. Okay. So this is only eBay, keep in mind what I'm talking about. So I thought that number was kind of cool. So basically at 555 items, I sell 197. So that means about every 2.5 items that I list, I'm selling 1 item. So obviously I'd like to get that lower because I like to be selling more items, but that's not too bad. So because again, you got to figure in the other items that I'm selling on my other platforms, so it's probably a little bit more than that. But they basically said my gross sales were for 3 months were $5,114, which is pretty good for me, guys. Like I said, I'm part-time doing this. I try to do this every day basically, and you got to list consistently to make money. And you got to figure when you see $5,000 in 3 months, that's pretty good. But what's the really breakdown? Like, Joe, what are you really making? What are you taking home? What is everything taken out? How much are you making? So I'm going to share that with you. And this is by no means bragging because it's not very much money. But I do want to be transparent with you on how much money that I make, particularly as a part-time reseller, based off of my sales, and how much you could potentially make. So let's start from the beginning. So we've got 5,000. I'll put it up here so you guys can see it. I had to make sure my calculations were correct, and I got everything written down here. So like I said, I just want to basically figure out exactly on average the past 3 months what my take home was. So you saw my sales was for 3 months was $5,114. You divide that by 3, and that gives you $1,704.66. So I'm going to start subtracting everything out, all my costs and that kind of stuff, and then we'll figure out exactly how much I'm taking home out of that. So every Monday, like I said, I've been going to Goodwill, and I've been spending on average around $30 a week at Goodwill finding items. So you take that times 4, which gives you 120, and that's about how much I'm spending at Goodwill a month. And then you also subtract what I'm spending at yard sales, and I spend less at yard sales, honestly. I mean, there's some days where I spend 30, and there's some days that I spend less than that, less than 20, and there's some weekends I don't go. So I figured an average of $100 a month on yard sales. But that's honestly probably high, but I'm going to go ahead and average high on that. So you minus the 120 and the 100 for my cost of goods, and that brings us down to $1,484.66. Now we got to subtract this beautiful unit that I've been paying for. That's been $144 a month, and that gives us $1,340.66. Factor in my supplies. I average about $50 in supplies a month. Honestly, it's probably less than that. So that takes us down to $1,290.66 a month. But we have to figure in those gross sales that when people pay us all that money on eBay, they also pay us for shipping. And that's not money that I get to keep. That's money that I have to spend to ship those items out. So yes, that counts as earned income, but I have to spend it. And yes, I claim that on my taxes, absolutely. So my average shipping costs for the past 3 months together, I added them all up, and I divided it by 3. The average cost was $648 and I think 50 cents. So you subtract that from our running total, and that gives you $642.16. That's what I've been averaging a month just on eBay. That's just my take home. So keep that in mind. Now, again, I make money on Depop, Mercari, and Poshmark. Not a ton, but that's like an extra $100 there or so on each of those platforms, maybe, give or take. So, but now you ask the question, gosh, Joe, you put in 20 hours, maybe 25 hours a week doing this, and you're only bringing home $642 a month, and you divide that by 4, and that gives you $160.54 extra a week. And you ask yourself, boy, is that worth it? So it's not very much money, and that's why I told you at the beginning, I'm not bragging at all. There's some months that I do a lot more than that. Some months, if I sell well, like instead of making $642 bringing home, I might bring home $700 to $800 or whatever. Getting close to holiday season, it's going to be more and that kind of stuff. So, I mean, I have slow months, I have bad months, whatever. I mean, it is what it is. But just to put it out there, for me, yes. I mean, absolutely. I think it's worth it to make an extra $160, $200 a week, and I use that for gas money. Sometimes I use it for groceries. Sometimes I use it to pay a bill, utility bill of some kind, whatever comes up. Sometimes I'm able to save the money and I buy nice things for me. Like I just bought that smoker a couple months ago, and so I use that for that. I like having it for rainy day stuff. The kids want to go to the movies, or we want to go play golf, that kind of stuff. I always joke with my kids, guys, courtesy eBay, and I swipe my cards. This meal, courtesy of eBay, you know? So it is worth it for me. Now, I've talked enough with this. I mean, we're getting into almost 5 minutes on this, but again, I just wanted to be transparent with you on what I'm bringing home a month, and I like figuring out the numbers because I'm a numbers guy. So there you go. All right, so let's get into it here. All right, let's go ahead and pull some orders because that's probably what you're really here for. All right, well, sorry about the audio. The audio in that last clip the last couple clips I just had. I had my mic on, but I didn't have the receiver plugged in. So the audio was just using the phone's audio. And I just recorded all of that, and I'm definitely not going to record it all again. So whatever, guys. I screwed up. So my bad. All right, let's pull some orders. Okay, I've got a total of $49 worth of stuff coming out tonight, and I have 5 items going out. Let's do Mercari first. I sold that Michelob t-shirt that I just picked up a couple weekends ago at a yard sale. Did I say t-shirt? I meant sweatshirt. I don't remember what I said. This Michelob Ultra sweatshirt, I got this for $1 at a yard sale, and this sold for $12 plus shipping. Next item on Poshmark, coming out of W, was another item that I just sold. Got this at Goodwill. It had the gold dot on it. It's actually a vintage shirt, but I sold it on Poshmark. Paid a little over $1 for it. Sold for $10 plus shipping. Let's go to eBay stuff. Sold an Amtrak train pamphlet. And I didn't put what thing I put it in. I think this is it. I'll have to look it up again just to make sure. But I bought a bunch of train stuff a while back. And this sold for $7 plus shipping. And we sold an old alarm clock radio. I used to pick these up pretty regularly. And I kind of got away from it. They used to sell a lot better than they do now. But I'd pick them up cheap. As cheap as I can. And they usually would sell for around $15. It's like Spartus alarm clock radio. Probably would have picked this up for pretty cheap. I imagine under $2 or around $2. But this sold for $8 plus shipping. Then out of tote U was some Calvin Klein pants. Okay, I did actually grab the wrong train pamphlet. This one here. This one sold for $7. Let me put this one back. Okay, finally found them. I could tell I listed it a long time ago because I failed to write on them and see what they are. But anyway, got these at Goodwill. Would have paid a little over $1 for them, and they sold for $12 plus shipping. Okay, we're back here Wednesday evening, and I've got some shorts going out. 2 items actually, 2 on eBay. Just kind of a slow sales day, but it's all good. We got some Osimo shorts. I got these at Goodwill for a little over $1, and they sold for $14.99 plus shipping. Then out of tote D, I sold an express shirt. There it is here, right on top. Oh. Bought a bunch of these express button-up shirts at a yard sale for $1. And I figured they'd start selling. Didn't take too long, but this sold for $11 plus shipping. Okay, one more item going out real quick. It was an Abercrombie and Fitch shirt, new one package. This is it here. I got this at a yard sale a while back for about $1, I think, maybe a little over $1. This sold for $19.99 plus shipping. Hey, what's up, folks? We're back here Thursday evening, and actually I have no sales going out today, so I think we're just going to go ahead and wrap up this video, and that's about all I have for you right now. I am going to do some yard selling this weekend, so hopefully if the weather's not too bad, not too hot, we will do that. And also a week from this Saturday, I'll be moving out of this storage unit and into my new one. So if all goes well, that'll be done a week from this Saturday, so we're looking forward to that. But as always, guys, I really appreciate you coming by the channel and spending some time with me and watching my videos. Feel free to leave a comment or question in any of my videos, and I'll be sure to answer it the best that I can. But that is it. So we will see you guys next time. And if you haven't yet, I would appreciate it if you could please like and subscribe. That really does help me out a lot. So we will see you soon. Thanks.